Listen to me. If you think this Saturday night clash is just another playoff game, you are completely out of your mind. We have a Seahawks quarterback whose body is literally breaking down, a rookie safety nicknamed the Seagull, who just saved our defense, and a viral conspiracy theory about a radiation curse that is terrifying actual NFL agents. What is going on, faithful? Welcome back. We are diving headfirst into the madness. But before we break down the X's and O's, I need you to do one thing. If you believe this team can overcome the injuries, the noise, and the weirdest season we have ever seen to beat Seattle, smash that like button right now. Do not hesitate. Hit subscribe and turn on those notifications because we are riding this roller coaster together until the very end. We have to start with the breaking news because the last 24 hours have been absolute chaos. If you have been refreshing your feed, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The biggest story in the league right now is happening in Seattle. Sam Darnold, the guy who has been the savior for the Seahawks all season, has popped up on the injury report with an oblique issue. Now, do not gloss over this. An oblique injury for a quarterback is catastrophic. That is your core. That is your torque. Every time you try to rip a 15-yard out or drive the ball downfield, that muscle screams. Darnold is playing it cool. He is telling the media, I think I'm going to play. And he is out there throwing against air. But if you look at the practice reports, the story changes. He was spotted constantly using a massage gun on his side between reps. He was wincing. He looked uncomfortable. The Seahawks are coming off a bye. They are rested, but their quarterback is compromised. If he can't rotate his hips, his velocity dies. And if he can't go, we are looking at Drew Lock. Lock has been taking reps with the starters, and while he is fresh, he is not Darnold. This is blood in the water, faithful. But the news doesn't stop there. We have a massive development on our own sideline. With Jair Brown ruled out for this game, the safety position was looking scary. Enter the rookie. Enter the Seagull. Marquez Sigel. This kid was a fifth-round pick out of Kansas State, and let's be honest, nobody expected him to be the starter in a playoff game. He has that 4-3 speed. He played quarterback in high school, so he knows how to read an offense, and he won the job early in the year before hitting that rookie wall. Robert Saleh benched him. He told him to sit down, take a breath, and let the game slow down. And it worked. When Sigel stepped in against the Eagles, he wasn't just a backup. He was a revelation. I'm looking at the numbers, and they are staggering. 40 snaps, 24 in coverage. He allowed exactly one catch for 8 yards. He made an open field tackle on Devonta Smith that was a thing of beauty. PFF gave him a 73.4 grade, second highest on the entire defense. He is playing fast, he is playing violent, and he is the key to stopping those Seattle receivers on Saturday night. And then, there is the story that has taken over the internet. The story that has gone from a whisper to a scream. The EMF conspiracy. If you haven't heard this, buckle up, because it sounds like science fiction, but it is becoming a legitimate crisis. It started a while back when John Feliciano went on the radio. He was asked about the 49ers' endless injury plague, why we are top 10 in injury rate almost every single year. And he dropped a bomb. He said, yeah, we used to joke as players about the practice field being next to an electrical substation. Nobody took it seriously. It was just a joke, right? But then this season happened. The injuries kept piling up. And a man named Peter Cowan, who is a board-certified expert in this field, I believe I'm getting that title right, decided to investigate. He went to the facility. He measured the electromagnetic field levels coming off that substation next door. And he claims the levels are dangerously high. Cowan put out a massive report on Substack. He cited sources. He explained how chronic exposure to these low-frequency fields can degrade collagen and weaken soft tissue. He is arguing that the players' ligaments are literally being cooked by radiation, making them snap easier. His tweet about this got 20 million views. Doctors, players, former stars, everyone is talking about it. And now, the Washington Post has jumped in. They published an article yesterday that is terrifying. They reported that multiple players across the NFL have reached out to their agents, genuinely concerned about the dangers of signing with San Francisco. One agent is on record saying he thinks the Niners might have to literally move their practice facility or they won't be able to sign free agents. Think about that. We are talking about a billion-dollar franchise potentially being forced to relocate because of invisible waves. Is it true? I don't know. But when you look at the injury history, you have to ask the question. And finally, on the coaching front, We have the distraction we didn't need. Robert Saleh is interviewing for head coaching jobs this week. He is meeting with Miami and Arizona before we play Seattle. I love Saleh, and he is doing his interviews late in the week to minimize the impact, but it is frustrating. The system is broken. We want our defensive coordinator thinking about DK Metcalf, not his interview suit. It is just another layer of drama on top of the most chaotic week of the season. So, that is the landscape. A broken quarterback in Seattle, a rookie savior in our secondary, a coaching staff with one foot out the door, and a literal radiation curse hanging over the facility. Now, with all of that on the table, I want to ask you a question. A rhetorical one to get your mind working. If the Seahawks have a quarterback who can barely twist his torso, and we have a defensive line that has struggled to get sacks all year, isn't this the moment where everything flips? If we can't get home against a statue, we don't deserve to win. But I think we will. Let's shift gears to the game itself. The matchup on the field. Because once the ball is kicked, the conspiracies don't matter. We have to talk about the offense. Specifically, who steps up without George Kittle at 100%. We know Kittle is a warrior, but if he is limited, the run game suffers. Kittle is the best run-blocking tight end on the planet. He moves bodies. Without him, those outside zones don't look as clean. This is where Kyle Juszczyk becomes the most important player on the field. He has to fill that void. He has to be the lead blocker, the inline tight end, and the safety valve for Brock. But the real X factor, the guy who changes the math, is Ricky Pearsall. If Ricky is cleared and healthy, Seattle is in trouble. We saw it in Week 1. He torched them. Over 100 yards. Pearsall is a technician. He runs those crossers that make linebackers look foolish. He has that start-stop suddenness that you just cannot teach. He can take the top off the defense, but he can also turn a 5-yard slant into a 20-yard gain. Without him, the field shrinks. With him, Brock has a weapon that terrifies the Seahawks secondary. We need Ricky Pearsall on that field. It is that simple. Now, I want to pause for a second and get your take. I want to gauge the temperature of the faithful. Here is the question of the day. With the news about Sam Darnold's oblique injury, how does your confidence level change? Do you think the Niners' pass rush, which is dead last in sacks this year, will finally wake up and dominate? Or do you think Darnold is bluffing and will torch us anyway? I want to see at least 500 comments below. Give me your score predictions. Let's argue about it. Let's get back to the defense. We talked about Marquez Sigel, but we need to talk about the linebackers. This has been a debate all week. D. Winters or Eric Kendricks? I know everyone loves D. Winters. He is electric. He shoots out of a cannon. He makes those highlight reel plays that get you out of your seat. But he also misses. In Week 18, we missed 18 tackles against Seattle. 18. That is losing football. You cannot have linebackers running themselves out of the play. That is why I am leaning towards Eric Kendricks in this one. He isn't the athlete he was 5 years ago. He isn't going to outrun Kenneth Walker to the edge every time. But he is smart. He has been in this league for 10 years.